Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. I made 6 new books which are on my Etsy shop now, and yep, I'm just gonna do a flip through. And I'm sorry for the light and shadows, it's really bright. I'm not complaining because we are in Ireland, we don't get that very often, but it's just a very strong light from my window, so I hope that you can see it. So the book is square-ish, which means it's 20 centimeters this way and 17 this way, and it has a 5 centimeter spine. It has 8 signatures, and right, the cover is made from textile. It's very squishy, and it's semi-hard, and this is wool. This is piece of wool, white piece of wool or cream, with free motion embroidery of trees, and all the books are different. So this is just seeds from trees that are hanging on in the spring, and this piece is linen that has been rusted, and then I used the batik technique to achieve this effect, this black and rust effect, which represents to me the ground. And then I have a free motion embroidery insects. So here we have a beetle, and this is all embroidered, and you can feel it's like a relief, or I don't know how to say it, because it sort of sinks, the stitch sinks into the wool, so it makes it like 3D-ish. And this is raw silk in the beetle, so it's like a textile collage. And there is 2 insects on each book, so this is a different beetle, all free motion embroidery, all different stitches. And this is lichen or lichen, depends how you say it, pieces that I attached to the book by French knots in different colors. Like the lichen has these little colors in them, and it's oxidized copper. It's I cut that out and oxidized it and then sewn it on the cover. And the bottom is oxidized copper, also lichen, but it's from a lot stronger copper, so it's really sturdy, so you can just tie the tie on it and it will stay. It's firm fit, and this won't bend or move or anything, you know, so it's a quite strong copper, the piece. So this is this one, and then let's have a look inside. Gosh, this is the shadows. And okay, so this is a tie-dye, sort of handmade. There is lots of stitching and lots of original artwork. So I did this print of, right, this book is supposed to represent how, like, the grasses and plants and flowers, everything in June has just started growing in Ireland like crazy, because it's warmer weather but it rains all the time. So this book is supposed to represent what I see around me in last and this month. So here we have handmade paper, pocket and stitching. This is my own stamp. This is a print that I made, so all the work is original pieces again. So that's my own stamp I made. Here is a pocket and vintage book pages with insects and English language and Czech language and all original book pages, no copies. So we have loads of plants that I see around me in Ireland, in the meadows. This is Enid Blyton page. Enid Holden page, not Enid Blyton. That would be something else. Gosh, it's I'm just trying to do that better. Sorry for the hanging things here. That's plants things. So I put in this middle page with the rose, wild rose. That's a beautiful middle page. And tea and coffee dyed papers, different kinds, different thicknesses, yellow paper and packing paper and signature. This is my own stamp as well. Beetle crawling in a meadow. Here is a pocket, and here also secret pocket. Here we have more handmade paper with more original prints and more stitching and pocket. This is the River Shannon and the water lilies and the grasses. These grasses are these grasses that's an eco print that I made last year, original eco print from those grasses. You can tuck something there, so that's a Polaroid I took. Some garden plants, book pages. So I wanted it to be colorful and full of life. So to scream spring and summer. Here is a textile piece with a print of tree, sort of. I took a piece of bush and flattened it, and it had these little tiny leaves on it. This is a hand-dyed piece which has been rusted and then dyed black with the batik technique on it. This is a packing paper with original print of grasses, which I printed straight on with ink, the grasses, and a beetle stamp on handmade paper. Bugs and beetles, book pages, very old, very vintage book page, the chalky feeling sort of. The dwarf Cornell, and the picture is on the other side. We have this took with my own stamp print. Some of the stamps are stamped with stamping ink and some are printed with a lino printing ink, so it sort of stands out a bit. 110 GSM paper, so sturdy for drawing, lichen drawing or gluing or anything. Music page. This is the other side of the vintage book. This is the plant the write-up is about. Beautiful original, very old print. Over 100 years they are. Another textile collage with fern and some textile pieces that have been hand dyed and eco dyed, and crochet bit pocket there. And this is, I had 6 of these, so I used them in this book. This is a vintage print from a book, and you can see it's got gold behind the flowers. The background is gold, and I don't know if you can see it, It's just gorgeous. It's really nice. And this one is Hawthorne and it says May. Handmade paper, little sort of page that I printed with ferns and a beetle. Another Enid Holden page. This plant is everywhere in Ireland at the moment, and it smells intoxicating, beautiful everywhere. Just you can see fields and they are like white, off-white. Lined page, bumblebee, this sycamore, lime maybe, lime tree, lime flowers everywhere at the moment. Smells gorgeous. Double pocket, original print, a little collage of the honesty seed, a little free motion embroidery on cotton with a little vintage lace and some cheesecloth. Pocket there. Plants in July, plants to enjoy in July. All sorts of interesting bits and pieces. Moth stamp. I think it would have about 250 pages front and back if I count everything, maybe more. Here is tie-dye piece of fabric with print of Queen Anne's lace seed head and beetle on handmade paper. This is a drawing that I made of rosehip fruit on Khadi Indian handmade paper and a corrugated cardboard pocket with gesso and a stamp of moth. Little tag here. Book page with plants and flowers, gardening. Beautiful prints in the middle from vintage books, original vintage prints of birds and plants. I think they are from Oxford Book of Birds, something like that. This is the other side, and this is eco print on paper. Here is free motion embroidery moth on rusted, and the fabric was rusted. Then I used a batik technique to cover this with wax so this stays rusted. I dyed it turquoise, then obviously I took the wax off so there is no wax, and then I did free motion embroidery lines and I like how it looks. Glassine paper, hand dyed. Some moths and caterpillars. Caterpillars are also everywhere. This one I see everywhere. All the plants in these books and insects are everywhere around me at the moment. More grass prints, straight from the grass onto the paper with acrylic color this time. Love them. Little tag. And another signature, handmade carry paper, coffee dyed, my own stamping, phone book page, little tag, bulbs, and birds, print, book page, little moleskin book page stitched on there, Another over 100 years old, very old book print. All beautiful smooth paper, very vintage. And that's the bird. I love these as well, the title picture to the write-up. And my own ink drawing of a moth and stitching. Closure, this and it's all squidgy and chunky and soft. So, oh yeah, and my usual ceramic beads. This is another one. So this one has these beads, they sort of, I picked them for the colors on the cover, so they are similar to the colors on the cover. So here we have these 3 branches with these seeds. This is more reddish pink. You have the rose gold silk in them as well, in the petals. And this is different again to the other book, but you know, it's all the same but different book pages, different art. This is different plant, nasturtium, all original works. Oh, this one is beautiful. I'll show you the 4 other ones. So we have this one, which is the rosehip and blue beetles with loads of lichen. This beetle is like this, yellow and blue. This one is blue and turquoise. And then we have one more with beetle. Beetle this time is a fat one with green and yellow. And we have these seed heads growing out of the ground. And this one is yellow and green with silk. It's nice. And then this is different because we have the brown on the top, as in sky or dark sky, with moths, threads. And this is honesty seed here growing out of the white ground. We have the lichen pieces, copper pieces again, and we have 2 moths with silk and embroidery, bumpy, and another one with moths. It's like a dark sky, like night, where moths usually can be seen. So here is ferns embroidered. I love how it sort of sinks into the wall. We have these, and then we have these moths. So thank you for watching, and I will put these on Etsy, and by the time you see this video they should be there. And if you decide to buy one, thank you. Bye bye.